a chance people can, there you go, turn off your camera, and but obviously we'd like to see you if possible, so so stay on. Right, I'm just gonna try and get that off my screen. So as I said, the meeting's hybrid, so we'll have person in line and in person, and last of all but not least, enjoy being part of shaping your community neighbourhood. Right, so what is People Power Places? So People Power Places was previously called Community Assemblies, and I know, looking around the room and seeing a few people online, that some of you have been involved in that process with us before. And the idea is to give Newham residents the chance to make positive changes together in their local area. So we're one of the largest participatory budgeting programmes in the country, and Newham has 8 community neighbourhood areas. Each neighbourhood has an allocated £200,000 funding to spend on local projects delivered by local people in the next 2 years. So, and it's for anyone who lives, works or learns in the community neighbourhood can take part. This money has come from a Neighbourhood Community Infrastructure Levy, or NCIL, and NCIL is a charge on a new development to help fund strategic and neighbourhood infrastructure in Newham. What are the criteria for NCIL funded projects? They are projects that help with the development and growth of your area, projects that improve our public spaces and infrastructure, and also projects that improve the health and happiness of the local community. Okay, so we're just going to show you a short film now about People Powered Places. Okay, so Chris is just queuing up the film, and we're getting some loud voices telling us we're recording, not recording, but the film is coming. Great.
Hi, I'm Councillor Charlie McLean. I'm the Cabinet Member for Resident Engagement and Resident Experience, and I oversee People Powered Places, the new brand of the Community Assemblies. We're currently celebrating the end of the second cycle. There's been a wide range of projects: gardens, playgrounds, compostable toilet. And there's been all sorts of different ideas that people have come up with. As time's gone on, people have got more involved, and you can really see an excitement and buzz amongst local residents.
I think it's definitely everyone's responsibility to get involved in local knowledge. At least you can bring your opinion and maybe even introduce something that just wasn't thought of before.
Platforms like the Assembly are really important because we're all part of this local community. I'm no less part of it by facilitating a project than somebody who's voted for a project and who comes along to the project. So there's a sense of cohesion.
We've evaluated the last 2 cycles and listened to people to see how we can improve. The cycle is going to be for 2 years next time around, because residents felt that they needed more time to develop their project and to deliver. We also introduced the Co-Create platform.
Newham Co-Create is Newham Council's online digital platform, and it's a way for us to extend our engagement online. It isn't replacing face-to-face engagement, it's just for us to extend it and to create a digital way for our residents to keep up to date with projects, to take part in engagement processes, to find out about the different consultation pieces that are happening in their neighbourhoods. We use it to recruit our working group members. We also use it to undertake our participatory budgeting exercise, which is voting online for the projects that residents want to see happen in their neighbourhoods.
Hi, my name's Emmanuel. We're at Newham Leisure Centre right now, currently running one of our youth projects, Youth FC. It's a football project for young people aged 14 to 18 to come down, release some stress and play football.
I got involved because I found a great way to just socialise, have fun, just relax, that time away from studies and everything. In my opinion, keeping your mind on one thing constantly is not a very good thing. It just puts my mind in a place where I don't have to think about anything other than playing football.
The name of our project is The Police, so drug curtailment and support for ethnic minority families. The Police is helping over 30 families.
Heard about this project through Instagram, and since then I found someone that I've been able to talk to. It has made us realize that as a family we can get through this and there is help out there.
The project's called Generation East London, and it consists of 3 projects: the deaf awareness training, self-defense for deaf and hearing women, and BSL storytelling. They're new. They educate the East Ham community about deaf awareness, deaf culture. So we want to make sure that the hearing community are including the deaf community.
It's called the Barber Connect project. So the idea is to network all these local barbers, then we can get all these young people engaged so I can impact them with this barbering skill as a business, and they could be responsible for themselves and for their future.
The name of this year's project is Welcome to the Channel Sea. It's a trio of 3 interlinked parts which aim to bring more people into the Longwall Ecology Garden. Anyone who walks along this path, which is many people every day, will benefit from the general care that we're providing for the space, keeping it clean and tidy.
We came up with the idea of the neighbourhood watch, try and use that as a way of giving people the confidence in their area again and just making people feel less comfortable committing crimes, things like fly tipping, things like vandalism, bring back that community feel and use the neighbourhood watch to actually say, you know what, there's a neighbour that can help you out, or there's somebody down the road who's looking out for you, to essentially make people feel safer.
Our project is called Ashok's Vision International, and it's a youth-led nature and biodiversity project where young people come and help improve the community spaces and green spaces. Research suggests there's a clear link between nature and mental well-being. So having to look after plants, it's so important for young people to have access to these type of activities.
We were discussing potential projects that could benefit the community, and this was certainly a project that was in the back of all of our heads. What it is developing the local park area near Warrior Square. It's been disused for quite a while, it's been in urgent need of repair. So we know that by developing it, by improving it, it's going to invite a lot more families to play games and just engage with the rest of the community.
So next year's will be bigger and better. There'll be more participants, there's more time, there's more money, so that people can really get involved and make a difference in their local communities.
It's very important for the community to initiate different projects. There is a sense of ownership when it's community-led, which leads to success.
You don't know how much your idea may benefit someone until it's in place. Definitely 100% go for it.
Projects have an impact on how Newham is shaped as a borough, and that's the beauty of Newham. It's like a vision that we have where we just continue growing and evolving and bringing new people into the idea of why residents should be involved in community engagement.
Hi everybody, my name is Anna Casimir. I'm the Community Neighbourhood Senior Officer for Beckton and Royal Docks. It is so good to see So many of you here today. I always get the fear of no one's going to show up, but it's so good to see so many of you here, including the working group who I'll go on to introduce and explain in a minute. So, people-powered places. So we are part of a 2-year cycle. We are right at the beginning. So step 1 is tonight. You've made it. Thank you so much for being here. So tonight we're going to be deciding the local priorities which will shape the types of projects that will get funding over the next 2 years. The next step will be our next people-powered places meeting in July to discuss the solutions to how we're going to improve the area. After that, you as residents, as organisations, as interested parties will come up with project ideas to meet the priorities. Residents can apply for up to £5,000 and organisations can apply for up to £20,000. And then the working group will review all the different projects, and then it'll be over to you as residents or people who live, work and learn in Beckton and Royal Docks to vote on your favourite projects that should get the funding. And then we will start delivering projects. Residents, you, and organisation will start delivering projects. And then finally we'll celebrate. So that is our plan. And this is a lovely cycle to show you just what that will look like. So many of you were at the launch event. We had over 300 people there to launch People-Powered Places. And today is the first People-Powered Places meeting. So our priorities, we are here. And as I said, on July 10th, we'll be having our solutions working group. Not working group, sorry. Our meeting, thank you. From the 20th of June to the 3rd of September, applications will be open to put forward different project ideas. And then, as I said, it will go to the working group to decide which ones actually meet the priorities before going to a public vote. And then successful projects will be announced in November with a view to start delivering in January 2024 to finish in 2025. And we'll have our next People-Powered Places meeting June, July time 2024 so you can see the project, see what they've been up to, what they've been managing to achieve. And January 2025 will be, looking at what's happened in our neighbourhoods. And then finally, I'm not finished yet. And then finally going back to May, June 2025, so we can celebrate the real changes, impact, successes that have happened in our community. Now I've finished. So our neighbourhood, so Beckton and Royal Docks is made up of 3 wards, Beckton, Royal Albert and Royal Victoria. So you can see on the map what's included in that. So this is the neighbourhood that we're focused on. And this is who we are. So as you can see, we are a very diverse part of the borough. We're very proud of that. In terms of our age distribution, I think it's very indicative of all the families that we have here. We have lots of under 4-year-olds and lots of children and young people, and then lots of people, parent age, lots of young professionals coming into the new builds. We know that's all changing our community. And overall, we do have good health in this part of the borough as well. So I'm going to hand back over to Lisa. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, Anna. Can you tell we're trying really hard not to say assembly? We're trying to say People-Powered Places. Okay, right. Why are we here today? Well, it's great to see a few more people have filled the room up and come online since I was last stood here. So we're here to meet our neighbours, learn about the council's priorities, discuss matters that affect the whole community, and vote to finalise the 3 most important priorities for Beckton and Royal Docks. Okay, so it's time for activity one, you'll be pleased to know. It's for each table and each person online, if you're in a breakout room or if you're staying all together, to take 15 minutes, introduce yourself. Please say one thing that you love about your neighbourhood, and then say one thing you would like to change in your neighbourhood. So please get involved. Please give your facilitators some interesting facts and figures and things that you like and things you want to change. And we'll come back together and share those in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
All right, welcome everyone.
The results. Hope we had some good discussions. It wasn't me. Okay, so we asked you something you love in Beckton and Royal Docks. And it's not a great surprise to me that the biggest point that you love is green spaces, because we're lucky to have a lot of them, aren't we, in this area. But we've also got diversity, the open spaces again, community, neighbours, Asda. Somebody says Asda, Davina. Woo! So,
Lisa, sorry.
The water. Yeah.
Sorry, we can't see online the screen.
You can't see the screen. Okay, let's just try and work that out, Emily. And
yes, we could. It was shared. We could see the.
I could see it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Some could, some couldn't. Okay, hopefully we can share that again. Everybody see? As I said, we've got a word cloud of what we love about Beckton and Royal Docks from in the room and online. Green spaces, diversity, open spaces, community, neighbours, the water, school, Asda. Okay, so shall we move on to the things that we'd like to change about Beckton and Royal Docks? And have a look at this word cloud. Oh, the biggest one is fly tipping. Okay, and some people would like more cafes. Some people are not keen on the littering, unsurprisingly. What else have we got? Crime, ASB, gallery spaces, more, I presume, as opposed to less. Knife crime, yes. Okay, some things that people would like to change, and hopefully that gives us a bit of an idea what we can think about in terms of our themes, priorities, and later projects as well. Right, if we could move to the next slide, please, Chris. We're going to talk a bit now about building a fair in Newham and show you a short film that talks about Newham and some of our priorities. And then we're lucky enough to have our corporate lead, Comrade Hall, who's already waved, is at the front here, and talked about growing. Okay, just want to apologise to our participants online. Sometimes with the hybrid sessions, there can be a little bit of an issue with playing videos, and I don't believe it was playing properly. So we can send the link and ensure that you get a chance to watch it. But to talk us through it a little bit more now, I'd like to welcome Conrad. And Chris, if Conrad's slides, are ready. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Is that working? Yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone. So my name is Conrad. I'm the council's. Oh, I'm in the way of the slides. Want to go there? Okay, got that wrong. Sorry. There. Does that work? I'm the council's finance director. Your money's safe in my hands. Don't worry. So thanks for having me along here this evening. We agreed at the council management team a little while ago that each of us would take responsibility for working with one of the neighbourhoods in the council. I was lucky enough to get Beckton and Royal Docks, which gives me the chance to get away from my spreadsheets and come along to meetings like this to talk a little bit to you about the council's priorities, although you've already heard them from that video, to answer any questions you may have, hopefully. And then if you don't mind, I am going to shoot off a little bit early. I'm probably not the only person in the room who's got a child in the middle of GCSEs, and I'd quite like to get home and check that today's didn't go too badly. But I'll be here till at least 7 o'clock. So the council has 8 priorities, and I should explain those a little bit, not least because the bids that you're looking at, it doesn't half help if you kind of explain why those bids will contribute to delivering at least one or more of those priorities. Having said that, although there are 8, 2 of them I can ignore for these purposes, and I'll explain why. So there's just 6 you need to focus on. So one of those, and you can see it sort of halfway down that list, homes for our residents. It's not that we don't think it's important. We think it's incredibly important. We put quite a lot of money into this programme that you're all part of. 8 districts, £200,000 each. You can do the maths. You know, that's quite a lot of money. But we all know what the scale of the kind of housing crisis is and the cost of that. You know, this isn't really the programme that will address the housing crisis. We have many other programmes that do. We signed off enormous investment in new housing at the council's budget in February, but we don't think this programme is the one to contribute to that. And at the bottom of the list, a campaigning council, the mayor is very clear that the council should be campaigning on behalf of residents, but that again is more of a political activity, and again not really what we're trying to achieve through this programme. So those 2 priorities you could ignore for these purposes, but the other 6 I'll just speak about very briefly. There's nothing, no rocket science about them, and so that when you're thinking about your bids, you can think about how they relate to those priorities. So health and well-being. Want people to be healthier, to be able to age well in our communities. So you might think, for example, in the past, we've had bids focused on, for example, more and better space for community activities to avoid loneliness that can come with old age. I know the issue myself with my own aging parents. So that's one of our key priorities, and we think there's an awful lot that you can do. This isn't all for the council to do. We can facilitate it by making money available, make available sessions like this. We want to hear your ideas about how that money could best be used to deliver that priority as a for example. We all know about the cost of living crisis, and the second of our priorities, inclusive economy and supporting youth through hard times. Again, so there's no rocket science to these. It's pretty obvious why that's a priority and what it means in general terms. But in terms of bids for programmes like this, you might want to think, how does that contribute to, for example, skills to enable local residents to access better jobs that are out there in order to help them through these hard times. Your neighbourhood, I mean, you all know Beckton, Royal Docks, way better than me. I come here for some of these meetings, but I live in Catford in South East London, so I don't know the area well, but you will. You'll know things, whether it's local parks that could be improved, allotments, for example, subject close to my own heart. That's one of my hobbies. You know, it may be that investment in things like that is something that would really improve the area. I heard some of the discussion at the table about how the open space is important. Safe for Newham, again, obvious what it means. Community safety is a huge issue, we know about that. And again, at our table earlier, we were discussing things like more CCTV, neighbourhood watch schemes, all other ideas like that, whereby investment through a programme like this, we can improve the safety of Newham so that people can actually go out and enjoy more of the great things that we've got on offer. Support for our young people is next. And again, you know, obvious what it means, isn't it? But we're looking for ideas from you, and you've got all the bids that you'll be looking at about. You know, you might think about how those are going to contribute towards activities for our young people. We saw the great video earlier with some local young people talking about football. Not my thing personally, but you know, there you go. I'd rather play chess, but you know, finding the activities and the means to support them, so that you know, young people in the area have got activities like that give them more fulfilling and enriched lives. And then lastly, you know, why we're here today, people powered Newham. You know, all about kind of community participation. You know, what is it that we could use these sort of funds for to contribute to building that, so that these initiatives can become more and more self-sustaining. We get more and more, and there's loads of people in the room, like 50 more, and I don't know how many online. Yeah, but you know, terrific if we can keep sort of building on this, because we really do want to understand more about what you feel as residents, because you know better than the council does about what can best be done in your area. So it's a real canter through those priorities. I mean, I could talk for ages on them, but it would probably get a bit boring, and they are fairly obvious, to be honest, what they kind of really mean. But do think when you're looking at these bids, you know, being able to say, you know, well, that one, this bid will contribute to one or preferably two or even more of those priorities, because it then really helps to show that the money that we've made available to this programme is contributing back in turn to those key priorities. You've got the detail on there about how this is going to work next. Is this me or this is you, Lisa, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that's my introduction now. As I say, I'll be around for the next half an hour, so I'm very happy to take any questions if it comes to it, but I hope it's just helpful to get that little bit of feedback on kind of council's overall priorities.
Thanks very much, Conrad. Okay, so your priorities. Next, you'll all be invited in the room and online to discuss the 6 themes that Conrad's just outlined collectively and shortlist 3 themes from that you think are the most important for your area. So after that, you'll vote individually for your top 3 among the themes that have been shortlisted from the previous exercise. The 3 themes most voted on will become your local area's priorities. And the local priorities will be your priorities the next 2 years. All projects will be submitted to receive funding will need to meet at least one of those priorities. Residents can apply for up to £5,000 and local organisations can apply for up to £20,000 need to meet the local priorities. Okay, has anybody got any questions at this point? Online, anybody got any questions, Amelie or Jyoti, that have cropped up? Now's your chance.
Not online, no. Thank you.
No? Okay. Well, if anything comes to you later, you can always grab myself or Anna or Susanna or Conrad if he's still here. So we're going to go on to the next exercise, I believe. So this is activity 2, discussion and shortlisting. We're saying 40 minutes, but we're hoping we can sort of make it a tiny bit shorter so that we can be a bit smarter in terms of the wrapping up of the next exercise. So we'd like you to discuss what you would like to prioritise in your local area. Look at each theme using the coloured cards either on the table or your facilitator is going to show you them online. And you can discuss whether that's something you would like to prioritise in your area. So the online facilitator will share this on screen, as I said. We've got about 5 minutes per theme for a little chat. And then if you feel like some themes are missing, you can always add using a blank card, which we've got on the table again, or you can talk to your facilitator online and discuss it collectively. But you have to make sure that you don't overlap with existing themes, because I think you'll find, you know, from your discussions that quite a lot is and can be covered within the existing 6 choices. So once you've discussed each theme, please shortlist 3 collectively on your table or in your breakout room and put your 3 themes in an envelope. It's a bit like a quiz show, isn't it? In your envelope or in the chat or message us from online, and all shortlisted themes will be put forward to the voting stage. So, and please choose one person from your table or your breakout room just to give a super quick feedback on how you came to that. So it's about discussing and trying to look collectively as a table what you think the 3 priorities for your local area will be. If for some reason your local priority does not get agreed by consensus at this point, there's still a chance to be voted on later if it makes the shortlist. Okay, I hope that's clear. You've got facilitators to support you further with that. And we'll come back together in just over half an hour. Thank you.
Okay, everyone.
So let's come back together, everybody, and find out which of the themes you're going to be voting on. Right, I'm going to go to online first and see if we can have some feedback. Amelie or Jyoti, did we have breakout rooms, and do we have somebody who can talk about which themes were picked?
Yes, Lisa from my room, it's Irving. We will please go forward.
Okay. Lovely.
Okay, so for our groups, we discussed all 6 themes and we selected health and well-being, community safety, environment and public spaces as the top 3 priorities. The discussion raised a few questions on, for instance, how does the council receive information on crime, or what is classified as antisocial behavior, as there can be a wide spectrum of behaviors within that range. We also discuss adding intergenerational activities to the youth empowerment in order to have more projects in the area, as well as support for parents who have literacy problem, and more activity for young people with additional needs that could be added to youth empowerment.
Okay, thanks, Hervé. Lovely. Amelie, Jyoti, do we have another feedback from online or not?
Yeah, we didn't really have time to choose a volunteer, so I'll just feedback for our breakout group. We had lots of interesting discussions. We talked a lot about community safety and environment and public spaces. We talked about health and well-being, community development and participation as well. But then youth empowerment was also one that people in our room felt was really important. What we discussed is that community development and participation covered quite a lot of the topics actually, and that the local authority is already doing a lot on health and well-being. So the final 3 that we decided are community safety, youth empowerment, community development and participation.
Okay, thanks very much, Amelie. Okay, so let's quickly try and go around the room. I'm going to look at Samantha's table. Do you have a volunteer to feedback and tell us which themes you shortlisted? Thank you.
Hey, so we decided that we wanted to find ways that we could solve the problems long term. So for us, environmental public space was really important because that was the base of us having the opportunity to create wellbeing opportunities, to create those youth empowerment opportunities as a base, as an opportunity to run any projects that we wanted to. Health and wellbeing was really important for all of us, just for everyone's sort of general mental health, right from our youth up to our older people. We noticed that there was lots of, I'm sure lots of people agree as well, loneliness for older people, and we haven't necessarily got those opportunities. Crime and community safety was very important. And we looked at the youth, and actually if we can educate them correctly, if we can provide them with the right opportunities, then we can start impacting the community safety by having a better generation coming through. So that was our 3: youth empowerment, health and wellbeing, and environment and public spaces.
Thank you very much. Okay, Zakir, could we hear a little bit of feedback from your table if you have a volunteer?
Yeah, we chose youth empowerment as our top priority. Obviously, young people are the future. Our second priority was health and well-being, mental health, physical health, and our third priority was environment and public spaces, green spaces, and engaging people.
Thank you. Okay, if I go to the table behind Robin's table, have we got a volunteer, Robin, to be back? Thank you.
Hi, we've chosen community development and participation as number 1 because it provides a wider scope of projects to be chosen. Community safety is our second priority, and it was chosen to provide projects that would create better cooperation between the community and the officers that are provide safety. And we chose health and well-being as our third option to be able to provide projects where community members would gain better access to already existing infrastructure.
Thank you. Great. So, Madine, you were facilitating the table. Do we have a volunteer to be back? Ilona, thank you.
So we had heated discussions around this table. It was so hard to decide because each participant has their own backgrounds and their own priorities and their own vision for Newham. Also, we talked about that many of the services, it would be easier for the council themselves to deliver, but of course there is some space for community to participate, to get involved. So that's why we chose health and well-being as one of our priorities, then youth empowerment and inclusive economy. We see it as a priority here in the borough, and we hope that community groups and residents can take part and help the Newham to shape their work. And the Newham services are responsive to the residents' needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if we pop behind, Anna's taking the mic to Milena's table. Do we have anybody to feedback?
Yeah,
I'll
do the feedback. So just to quickly say again, we kind of had a similar discussion on the other to the table before, kind of wondering what's the role of the council and also what's the role of the kind of funding from the people power places. But the 3 that we decided were youth empowerment, community development and participation, and health and well-being.
Great, thanks, Milena. And Shamila's table, Danielle's going to feedback. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. We had very similar discussions about what was the council's role and what we felt the community should be delivering. The 3 that we decided on were community development in order to bring the communities closer together, youth empowerment, and inclusive economy. The other thing that we also, well, we could either come under the criteria or maybe as an item on its own, is a holistic family approach where the whole family can get involved with activities. So mum can go with her 3 kids to Zumba and doesn't feel bad about the fact that they've just tripped Auntie Doris over or whatever. So as a mum, I'd like to have seen that. Yeah, so intergenerational work, please. Oh, and staff funding.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. And we have, sorry, whose table? Anna's table. Who's going to feedback?
I'm going to talk.
Ah, lovely. Hi. Thank you.
So yeah, we had our discussion was kind of based on what priorities do we feel like would also trickle down to solve some of the other priorities as well. So we went with community development and participation, inclusive economy, and environment and public spaces. And we kind of felt like in having an inclusive economy, we could empower the youth, for example, and by having a project that addresses the environment, public spaces, we're also going to then be able to improve the mental health and well-being of the community as well. That was kind of how we thought about what we picked, and that way we went about it. Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, Jordan. And last but not least, Susanna's table. Do we have somebody who can feedback?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
my table ganged up on me. So we went for inclusive economy. Table felt that was really important. Youth empowerment, and there was a very happy table that young people were here today, and really pleased and hoping that there will be more youth-led projects on this round. And health and wellbeing got nearly, I think actually health and wellbeing got 100% vote on the table. So those were our 3.
Great, thanks, Susanna. Okay, I think that's all our tables now. So I think what we're going to say, I'm looking to my able colleague Chris, is that we're going to tell people now the priorities, the themes that we're going to be allowing people to vote on. So it might not come as any surprise to some observant people amongst us that all of our themes have been chosen by some table or other. So that is now going to take us forward. Yeah, we were looking at the votes. Sorry, I'm looking at Chris. And community safety wasn't coming up, and then it did come through at the last moment and also online. So we've got all 6 priorities. We do have the one Danielle mentioned that your table came in, holistic family approach, a factor in, is it admin wage in costings? So it's quite specific, Danielle. I would like to think that health and well-being is holistic, although it talks about aging well, we're all aging at every age. So I think it's more of an approach. If you agree, we could put it in as a separate vote. Yeah, we'll put it in as a separate vote area to vote for. Sorry, holistic family approach. So, so we are now going to be using Mentimeter. So that is an app that people can use to vote. So if people have got smartphones or any type of device with them, they just need to go to www.menti.com and use the code on the screen. Please add it, yes, Chris, thank you. Yeah, just give me a moment, because Chris is just adding it, so I know you're keenly logging in. So the code to use is 38895123. And if anybody online or in the room does not have a smart device with them and needs some support from our facilitator, then the facilitator, Anna, in front of me, is walking around with some iPads online. People can help support you to make sure that your vote is counted. We want to hear from all of you. And so here's the chance. There will be the full 6 priorities plus the additional one that Danielle's table came up with. And this is your individual vote now. This is time for you to really focus on what you want rather than coming to a group consensus, which you did very well last time. So I've gone totally off slide, so I'm just going to repeat. Having heard everyone's feedback, we'll now vote on the 3 themes that will become our local priorities for the next 2 years. As I said, voting is individual, and themes that have been shortlisted by tables can be voted on, so that's all of them. And consider all the things you heard today to make your final decision. Facilitators can help you vote. So, how long are we giving this, Chris? 5 minutes? Yeah? Okay, please. Is it on now, Chris, the additional one? Yeah. Please do go ahead and vote, and just shout if you need any support.
Just 2 minutes, sit down.
Yeah, sit down. Thank you in the room. Okay, so we're now going to the big reveal. Thank you for staying with us. I know it's a long session, but Chris, are you going to do some magic and move the slides? It was quite exciting watching the figures rising and seeing what's coming up, but even I don't know the result because it could have all changed since I looked. Okay, so everybody looking at the screen, it's time for the big reveal, and the top 3 priorities for Beckton and Royal Docks are, woo! Okay, so top of the pops, community development and participation. Second, health and well-being. And third, environment and public spaces. Now, youth empowerment misses out by 1 point, but can I just say, I feel, youth empowerment, we can, still do a lot of projects with young people. So please don't be disappointed. Okay, voting's closed. That's exciting for me. Hope it is for everybody in the room. And we're just going to wrap up now. We've got a couple more slides. My able co-host Anna is on her way down to introduce you to some other very special people. Okay, thanks everybody.
Thanks very much, everyone. I'm so excited. This is what we're going to be working towards for the next 2 years, and I can't wait to see all the project ideas, creativity, passion that I can already feel in the room come through to some real tangible projects. So, yes. Right, slides, please. So these are our councillors. We have a few councillors in the room today. Councillor Rahima Rahman was here, but she sends her apologies that she couldn't stay longer. And is Councillor Asa still here? You're hiding. Oh, and he left too. But these are our ward councillors for Beckton and Royal Docks. Well, Beckton, Royal Albert and Royal Victoria. Go to the next slide. And this is our working group. So earlier I mentioned that we have a working group. Our working group is made up of 20 local residents or people who are interested in the community, and they help keep us, the programme, you accountable to the programme, to your project. So they will be helping us score the projects that come in, making sure that they're meeting our 3 priorities that we've just identified. And they also do project monitoring as well to make sure that you're doing what you say you're doing. So if you are in the room or online, can you just stand up and give us a wave? There are a few of you here. Ooh, so here are some of your working group. Yeah, round of applause. So, we've got Rob online, we've got Salome online, we've got Kay. Hi, Kay. Yeva, your camera's off, but you're there too. Aurora, she's got a little celebration. So, yeah, really great to have you with us. Should I go through everyone? So we've got Aisha who's here, Armin who's online, Aurora's online, Guy's in the front, Halima is here, Yevo's online, Jordan's at the back, Nana, I think she was trying to join online, Patience and Charlotte both sent their apologies. Rich is here, I've seen Rich, yeah, give us a wave. Rob's online, Salame's online, Winnie, Winnie, are you still here? I did see you. Oh man. And then we got Daniel and Daniela both here. Okay, we've waved to Charlene. Stacey only found out she's on the working group this evening. Stacey's got a new baba, so we've got 21 really on the working group. And Tim, who also sends his apologies. So yeah, really excited to have the working group. Next slide, please. So I would like to introduce Councillor Charlene McLean for closing remarks, and I'll come back for next steps.
Hiya, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, brilliant. That was just so, it was fantastic. We had such great discussions in our group online. And just to the young people that are present, as Lisa said, the projects are, the priorities are interlinked. So, you know, there can be a youth empowerment slant with health and wellbeing, with environment and public spaces, you know, community development. So don't be disheartened, and I'm looking forward to seeing what projects you may put forward. I just want to take this opportunity to thank the working group members who, you know, there's a lot of hard work ahead, and it's a really difficult task, but no, just thank you so much for your contributions to the process, and also to the people that have joined, those in the room and those online. Our people powered places are hybrid, so I do try to join online or in person, and just to see, you know, how the different vibes are. And yeah, it was a fantastic vibe online. And just lastly, I just wanted to thank the staff team for all of their hard work, because it does take a lot to get this process going. So just a huge thank you to them. I'm actually quite pleased that environment is been chosen as a priority, because it's the first time, actually. This is our third event, and it's the first neighbourhood that's chosen it. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what project proposals will be, you know, put forward. So thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing you at the next event. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Charlene. Yeah, let's give her a clap, give ourselves a clap. Brilliant. So my presentation's not coming up before, so I'm kind of, last page. We're nearly there. Okay, closing remarks, next steps. Save the day. Come and stand next to me, Anna. Save the day. Our solutions will be on Monday, 10th of July, 2023, 6 till 8. We haven't got a venue yet, but I'm quite liking it in here. I don't know how other people feel. Please let us know what you think, but it's quite nice. First time doing it in the library. Project applications will be open from the 20th of June to the 3rd of September, so nice long period. And please, before you leave, don't forget to scan the QR code. It's on the table, or fill in the form and online, please, because that obviously helps us to improve. And before we go, Councillor Asa has come back into the room. So would you like to just come and say hello, Councillor? Did you see our priorities?
I did.
You did?
Yes. So I'll be very quick because it's time to go home. And you all want to go home. So lots of, where do I have to stand? Can you see me on screen or wherever they are? Is that right? Yeah. Nods, yes, sorry about that. It's all choreography. So for those I've not met, lots of familiar faces in the room. I'm James Asser. I'm the Deputy Mayor of Newham, but I'm also one of the councillors for Beckton. You probably saw Rahima here earlier. She's had to dash off to another event. And I do have apologies for Tony Wilson. She's got some caring responsibilities at the moment, so couldn't make it this evening, but does send her best wishes, and I'm sure some of you have seen her before. I was pleased to see environment. I'm also the cabinet member for the environment, and we're always keen to do stuff here, so we're always keen to see my own area picking the same topic, and we had lots of great environmental projects in the last rounds of community assemblies. So it's been wonderful to see such a great turnout. I think the venue works really well. I think it's nice to see the library being used like this, and we've done some good stuff on the other side, nice to do on the Beckton side as well as Raw Docs. So hope you've all found it really useful. It's been lovely to see everyone, see the enthusiasm and engagement, and looking forward to some really exciting stuff over the year ahead and seeing what we can do together. So thank you for coming, and really love to see you all, and looking forward to what we can do.
Thanks, Kentrasta. Okay, so before we go, don't forget feedback, but also I believe Danielle, one of our last year project leads and local resident, is coming up to share something about some freebies. Go, Danielle.
It's not exactly free, but it's very, no, it's not exactly free. So Thin Air in Beams is an art installation in the Royal Docks. It's near Brick Lane Musical. And it's usually £25 a ticket. What they've done is they've given Newham residents 500 tickets at £5 each. There's if your children are under 5, I think they go free. It's on the website. But that money will go into and be split between 5 Newham grassroots charities. So if we sell all the tickets, each group will get £500. The Newham Muslim Forum, Feed the Streets, Amy Space, Food for All, and the LGBT seniors. So if you feel like buying tickets, that would be great. So you only pay the £5 or £6 plus £2 booking fee even if you book 10 tickets. And it's available. There's no restrictions up until the 4th of June. So thank you.
I've been to Thin Air and it's amazing. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's wild. So definitely. And I found Matt in there. I thought I was lost. I was like, no one's ever going to find me again. But I found Matt and Mumtaz, so I was relieved. Sorry, I can't believe that's the final note. Thank you very much, everybody, and looking forward to working with you all over the next 2 years. Oh, Danielle's got another comment. The booking code is Thin Air 25. If you're interested, just get in touch with me and we'll sort it out.
And thank you online for joining, and see you all next time, hopefully. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.